I'm Old Sneelock. Welcome to another episode of Old Sneelock's Workshop. We're still trying to get this tractor going because I want to. It's my tractor. I should be able to get it going. There we go. Gotta get a pair of pliers. So humid, the camera, which came out of the cooler house, keeps fogging up. But I'm trying something new. I'm standing here with the camera right in front of me, not looking over my shoulder. See if I can get this thing to... There we go. That came loose. Actually, the connection looks pretty clean. But then, it could be that I'm turning enough to shine it up a little. This is dielectric grease. It's supposed to prevent corrosion. For ignition, apply to spark plug, boot, and ceramic part of the plug. For connectors, coat both surfaces. So, we're going to coat both surfaces. Put a little on the screw. Not a lot, doesn't take much. Now I'll take that on my finger and spread it around on both connectors. There's some on that side, some on that side. And slide the wire on. And slide that wire on. Now these screws are brass. They should not corrode, but they do. Well, that's two. Let's do the ignition switch again. I left this sit out here in the rain with no tarp over it. Shame on me. Some grease on the connection. And some more on the connector. There, that's good. I'll do the same thing on the back one. Slide the wire up over it. Well, no change. Now this one down here is a real bug to get to. And that's a steel screw. It's been so long since I worked on this, kind of like a whole new project for me. It's a brass washer, at least I had sense with that. So I got one, the red wire, actually this red wire, two, the other red wire, three, a green wire, and four, another green wire. So that's the wire, this is the wire that brings power up, and it goes from that terminal to the light. So that's the power up from the generator. That goes down in this connection. That green wire goes down to the generator through this loom. This blue wire goes to the top one. There's only two terminals on this thing. So I'm going to have to clean all these connections and put them back on so I can do the other one. Because I don't want to get them disassembled and then have to try and figure out, by routing it out again, where all the wires go to. So first thing is wire brush the crimp ends. They actually look pretty good. And since they're all stacked together, they're not connecting with the terminals as much as they are connecting one to the other. They're all compressed into one bundle. Got a little corrosion on that one. I'll bet that's not good. Just using a little steel wire brush. This one goes to the ignition. Okay. We got a gust front coming in. Looks like the storms are going to start up. There's the flat washer. There's the lock washer. And nicely greased up. Here's the nut. Now I just have to stuff this in there underneath that flat washer. Gotta get around the other side. Now, loosen this up a little bit. Give me some room to get that slid in there. There. All nicely put together. It ain't easy, but we got it. Nice and tight. Good. Nothing's contacting anything else. Perfect. Well, this is actually working out pretty good, having the camera there. It's harder for me to reach around the camera, but you can definitely see, and I can see the back of the camera, so I can tell when I'm going out of frame, which is the biggest problem I'm having, at least from my estimation, is just not getting the shot, because I don't know that the camera's pointed a different direction. So even if I bump the camera now and knock it out of position, I'm looking right at it, so I can see if my hand's in it. That's how I check focus and everything else. Is I look and see if my hand's in the camera shot. Okay, one big blue one. Main power up to the ignition switch. Another big blue one. Main power coming from the ammeter, because and then the last big blue one coming up from, where's that coming? Coming from the generator. Now I know the circuit worked before, so I'm not concerned about the circuit. I just want to make sure I still get it back where it belongs. The other advantage is the camera died and I saw it. Didn't lose a lot of footage. It's funny, they still call it footage. Well, at least I do. It's not footage. It's all digital. No feet involved in it. Not like film's running through the camera. That's the only reason I could afford doing this too. Could you imagine having to pay to for somebody to process all the film that I would run through? I do typically 2 to 4 hours worth of work for every video. And the camera runs through most of it. That would be a whole lot of footage. And the Photoshop would be making a ton of money off of me. Now, funny thing is, I'd still be doing the work because it needs to be done. I need to get the tractor fixed, but you'd never know I did it. Okay, tightened up. Yep, no cross connections. I think we're good to go. But I got to button up because it's going to rain. Well, now you get an idea why it takes so long to make a video. I come out here 15 minutes with the dog. It looks like sunshine. Everything seems to be okay. I go back in, grab the tools, come out here and start working on the tractor. Maybe 15-20 minutes into the job, it starts getting dark. Wind starts blowing a little bit. That tells me a rainstorm's coming. I look over on the horizon and there's gray clouds. So I gotta cover up the tractor again and put you guys away, get the tools put away, and go back in the house. But we're getting there. It's going to happen. Just takes a little more time. I could work in the tractor shed, but it's kind of tight work in there, and I know I probably could be done by now working in the tractor shed, but it's a horrible mess. Very hot, very close, no wind, and mosquitoes just pounding all over you. So not a fun thing to do. If I could, I would bring the tractor up into the garage and work on it in there, but it won't run. And towing it with a truck, not a good thing. I could put Lydia in the truck and I could be driving the tractor or vice versa, but that's fraught with danger and open to just absolute chaos. So I'll work out here, do what I got to do. I still have a really large compost pile to mix up and get tilled over, and that's why I'm trying to get the tractor running so I can use the big blade and flip that compost so it can decompose a little faster. The stuff on top gets dry, and the stuff on the bottom has been soaking wet. I mean, it's like 2 months worth of rain. So if I flip it, then the top will get wet and decompose like the bottom did. It'll be under the dirt. Have a much better chance of coming in contact with the bacteria and microorganisms that eat it, make it into worm food. So hopefully we'll get the tractor going here pretty soon and everything will be happy. Oh, here comes the wind again. Keeps telling me, Dave, stop. Stop, Dave. If you have any suggestions for a new video, questions about today's video, or any of the other videos on the channel, just drop a note in the comments. You know I read them all. Thanks for watching. And if you're wondering how much rain we're getting, this is today's batch. I dump this thing out once a day, and this is filled up again already. This video is not to be viewed by anyone under the age of 13 in the US or 16 in the European Union, without the express written permission of the parents or legal guardians of the underage person. Such written permission must be on file at the local government entity in charge of enforcing the rules and regulations established by the FTC. Anyone violating these terms is admitting by default that they hold harmless the owners and operators of this channel. Any and all questions should be addressed to your local branch of the FTC.